Legions die by betrayal. They die in fire and futility. Above all, they die in shame. Callan Garrix, Sergeant of Garrix Tactical Squad, Sons of Horus 59th Company. His armor is wreck-blasted and cracked, gunmetal gray with the sea-green paint scorched away into memory. Across his helm's left side, image intensifiers refocus with smooth whirs, miraculously undamaged from his fall. His men are in pieces around him. Meads is a dismembered ruin, his component parts scattered over the rubble. Vladak is impaled through the chest, decapitated by junk, twitching in a spread of blood-stained sand. Dion and Ferak had been closest to the defense turret's power generator when their length of the wall exploded under a gunship's strafing run. Callan has a flash memory of both warriors covered in chemical fire, burning as the shockwave sent them sprawling. Their scorched remains scarcely resemble anything human. He doubts they'd been alive when they hit the ground. Smoke rises all around him, though the wind steals the worst of it. He can't move. He can't feel his left leg. Jagged wreckage lies strewn in every direction. A particularly sharp chunk of it impales his thigh, pinning him to the charred ground. He looks back at the burning stronghold, with its remaining turrets firing at the gunships strafing the battlements, and an entire wall broken open to the enemy. Across the desert, the enemy come on in a dusty horde, half occluded by the dirty smoke thrown up by their bike tires and smoking engines. Dirty silver on a dull, desecrated blue. The Night Lords, riding in wild unity. He keeps his calm, speaking over the Vox, demanding Titan support that he knows isn't coming, despite the Prinkep's promises. They are betrayed, left here to die under the 8 Legion guns. Callan looks at the plasteel bar driven through the meat of his leg and gives it an experimental tug. Even with pain nullifiers flooding his bloodstream, the grind of metal against bone peels his pale lips back from his teeth in a snarl. Tag Gorugaj Kerez, he calls out in Chthonic. Tag Gorugaj Kerez? A howl sounds closer, mechanical and full-throated. Jump jets, whining to a close. Veliasha Sharshe Meresalma? Asks a Vox voice in a language he doesn't speak. He knows the sound of Nostraman, tongue of the sunless world, but speaks none of it himself. A shadow eclipses the world's poisoned sky. It isn't one of his brothers, it doesn't offer a hand to help him rise. Instead, it aims a bolter down at his face. Callan stares into the gun barrel, dark as the nothingness between worlds. His eyes flick left where his own bolter lies in the rubble, out of reach. With his leg impaled, it might as well be half a world away. He unlocks his helm's seals and pulls it free, feeling the desert wind on his bleeding face. He wants his killer to see him smiling. Nebukar Desh, captain of the Sons of Horus 30th Company. He exhales a rancid, coppery breath from his lungs, feeling bloody spit stringing between his teeth. One of his hearts has failed, now a cooling dead weight in his chest. The other beats like a heathen war drum, overworked and out of rhythm. His face is on fire with the pain of the lash wounds, tiger striping his flesh. The last whip crack stole one of his eyes. The one before that opened his throat to the gristle. He raises his sword in time for the whip to lash back, wrapping his fist and the hilt in a serpentine rush. A sharp pull tears the weapon from his grip. Disarmed, half-blind, breathless, Desh falls to one knee. For the War Master. With his ravaged throat, the words are as strengthless as a whisper. His enemy answers with a bellow, loud enough to shake Desh's remaining eye in its socket. The wall of sound hits him with rippling physicality, denting and bending his armor plating in a series of resonating clangs. He stands against the wind for 3 erratic heartbeats until it breaks his balance, hurling him down and sending him skidding across the landing platform with a squeal of ceramite on rusting iron. As he tries to rise, a boot presses down on the back of his head, grinding his mutilated face into the iron deck. He feels his teeth snapping in their sockets, gluing to the inside of his mouth with thick, corrosive saliva. His benediction ends in a voiceless gurgle, as the blade slides lovingly home into his spine. Zarian Sherek, brother of the Sons of Horus 86th Company, a seeker, a pilgrim, a visionary, he seeks out the Neverborn, surrendering his flesh to demons as a statue of meat and bone offered up for reshaping. He pursues them, proves himself to them with sacrifices of blood and souls, forever seeking the strongest to ally with him within his own skin. He no longer recalls how long he's been on this world, nor how long the World Eaters have been chasing him. He isn't here to run from them. He's here to stand and face them. They chase him now, laughing and howling up the side of the mountain. Sherek can hear the mad wetness in their words and pays their frothing laughter no heed. His muscles burn. The last demon to dwell within his flesh was cast out 7 nights before, leaving him drained and anemic in search of another. Soon, he knows. Soon. His gauntleted hand grips the rocky ledge above. He has the briefest moment to smile at the bolt shells bursting stone into fragments nearby, before he hauls himself up and out of the World Eater's line of fire.